Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a cleaning video, but it's not just any cleaning video. Kids are in the background playing in the playroom. Today's video is going to be all about our cleaning schedule and what that looks like for us now. We have recently re-implemented a cleaning schedule. For a long time after my daughter was born, we just kind of cleaned as we went. Cleaning was very sporadic, we just did it when we could, and a lot of the time it ended up being a lump cleaning day. Like a lot of the time we ended up reserving Saturdays for cleaning the entire house because it just didn't get done during the week. Leaving it all for one day was starting to feel like a burden. Like our weekends were just full of cleaning all the time, or if we didn't get around to cleaning on the weekend, then our house was just really messy. And so now we want to be back into a routine so that we feel like our house is constantly in a state of clean, or almost clean, or kind of clean, instead of our home slowly getting worse and worse throughout the week until finally we clean it on Saturday. This is something we used to do for quite a while before my daughter was born, and I will leave the video link down below where I explained what that looked like back then. We have re-implemented that plan with modifications, especially now that our children are older, they can start being involved as well. And so we have brought that plan back, as well as a new dedicated chore system for our children that we've been testing out for the last 3 weeks or so, and it's been going really well. I'm going to take you with me throughout the week as I clean and as we go through our cycle of cleaning and our schedule. So basically our chores are divided up throughout the week instead of having it all on one day. Chores such as cleaning up the fridge, vacuuming, mopping, dusting, stuff like that. Things like cleaning up happen every single day, and our kitchen is exempt from this schedule because it is its own area that gets cleaned up after every single meal. So when I talk about mopping the floors, I'm not talking about the kitchen. I'm sorry, it is really noisy in that playroom right now, but they're happily playing and I don't want to interrupt that. The floors in the kitchen get mopped as needed, which is usually like 2 or 3 times a week. So I won't be talking about the kitchen in today's video because it just gets cleaned constantly all the time. On Mondays, my job is to clear out the fridge, throw out any leftovers that are going bad, make a mental note of everything that we have in the fridge so that when we go grocery shopping, I know what to get. And then also just wiping down drawers and shelves and stuff like that. And then of course going grocery shopping. So when we go grocery shopping, we'll go grocery shopping for the week, and then whatever produce we have, I like to wash it before I put it in the fridge if I'm able to, so that throughout the week when I'm reaching for those things, I don't have to first wash them. It's just ready to go. Today's a little bit of an exception because today is a holiday, it is a long weekend, and so I'm not sure with our schedule if I'm going to have time to actually wash and clean the produce today. But if I don't get around to it today, I'll do it tomorrow along with tomorrow's chore. So we're gonna start there, and I'll talk more about the rest as we go. If you've ever wondered what my fridge looks like, it looks a little something like this. Some people have very nice organized fridges. That is not my fridge. My fridge is just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff kind of shoved in, but it has a system. Like everything kind of has a place where it usually goes, and I know where things are and I can easily reach for them. Hello! It's an organized mess. It's organized to me because I know where things are, but to anyone else just glancing in my fridge, it's a mess. My job today is to go through this and organize it. Usually I start top to bottom and then go over to the door. have noticed that that wasn't a very thorough clean. Actually, that was a lot more thorough than I usually am. Most weeks it's just a matter of like quickly going through stuff, quickly wiping stuff down, just making mental note of what's in the fridge. I do believe in doing a good job in whatever I'm doing. It's biblical. It tells us whatever we do, do it as unto the Lord. So that's certainly what I try and do, but there is a difference between doing a good job and excessively cleaning to the point where I'm not using my time wisely and spending all my time deep cleaning. But I've got other things that I also need to take care of. I reserve the deep cleaning for spring or fall, but I make sure I'm at least on top of stuff and keeping things neat and clean and tidy throughout the year. Typically grocery shopping happens Monday mornings, but like I said, today's a little bit of an exception, so we will try and go grocery shopping later this afternoon. And then whether or not I get around to cleaning the produce remains to be seen. I am someone who really loves routine and sticking with routine. I function well that way, but as a mom I've also had to learn a certain level of flexibility because things don't always go according to plan and there will always be exceptions. Today is one of those. Let's talk about laundry for a minute. Laundry is something that happens every single day. It's one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning. I'll put a load of laundry into the wash, and then after breakfast I'll take that load and put it into the dryer, and then sometime throughout the day I'll try and find time to put that laundry away. My kids are responsible for putting away their own basket of laundry, which has proven to be extremely helpful. This is a huge way that they help me around the home and do their part and take responsibility. We do a no-fold system, so they just have different categories of drawers where they put their clothes. Like they each have a shirt drawer, and they each have a pant drawer and a pajama drawer, and they just have to take their clothes and put them into the right spot. I don't expect them to fold them. If they want to, they can. One of my children does take the initiative to do that every once in a while, but I find that when they're rummaging through their clothes trying to pick out their outfit for the day, they end up unfolding everything anyway, and then there was just no point in folding them in the first place. So to save ourselves time and effort, we just do a no-fold system, and it works great for us. Now, what do I use to clean my laundry? I get that question a lot, especially from moms who are scrubbing stains out of their kids' clothes and it's just not working anymore. I understand. I have been scrubbing stains out of kids' clothes for the last 7 years. I've tried a lot of different products, but I've finally nailed down something that works, and that's non-toxic. Laundry detergent was actually one of the first things that we swapped when we started going non-toxic a few years ago. At the time, I was cloth diapering, and one of my children was just really sensitive to whatever detergent I was using, so I was looking for swaps that were effective and that worked, but that were non-toxic and wouldn't hurt my kids' skin. This is where I want to say a huge thank you to Branch Basics for sponsoring today's video. For a long time I was using the Branch Basics laundry detergent from their starter kit, and it worked so good for me. I was loving it. I loved it so much I didn't think anything could top it until I started using their new powdered laundry detergent that they just launched. I've been using this for the last month and I cannot believe how well it works. This stuff has simplified my laundry routine even more than it already was. This is an all-in-one formula, which means that it acts as a stain remover, it acts as a laundry detergent, and more. This is the only product I use for my laundry now, and it tackles my kids' stains like nothing else. For mild stains, I don't even treat the clothing, I just throw them in the wash because I know that this is powerful enough to help it. But for stronger stains that I know are gonna need a little extra help, I will pre-treat the stains with this. I'll start by spraying the stain with just a little bit of Branch Basics all-purpose cleaner, and then I will sprinkle this powdered laundry detergent over top of the stain. I'll wet it really well with the all-purpose spray, and then I'll agitate the fabric by just rubbing the fabric together. The instructions are right on the package here. It says to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Do not allow the fabric to dry, and then wash as normal. Every time I do this, I am just blown away by how well it works. Let me show you some examples. So you saw some of the stains in the clothes. This is a white t-shirt, a white t-shirt for my boy. I know that sounds like a terrible idea, but look at how clean this is. There was a yellow stain up on the shoulder, and there is nothing there now. It is completely gone. This one was covered in orange juice, and orange juice is one of those stains that I find really, really challenging to get out of fabrics. Like that is probably the worst stain for me. I did the same stain scrubbing method, and then after I washed it, I laid it out in the sun for a little extra help. It's completely gone. There's no sign or remnants of orange juice left on the shirt. This one had an old poop stain on it. It wasn't new. It had gone through the wash a number of times. Look at it now. Completely gone. Like for an old stain that has been washed a few times, dried a few times in the dryer, to be completely gone on a white onesie, I'm sold. Their formula is completely free of microplastics and fragrances, which, side note, that's something that I really, really love. It's really hard to find anything that doesn't have a fragrance to it, and both Zach and I are very sensitive to scent. And their formula is completely free of the long list of toxins that are commonly found in conventional laundry detergents. It says right here on the package, and forgive me if I pronounce these wrong, but there's no 1,4-dioxane, no phosphates, no ethoxylates, no preservatives. It's very clean and very safe to use, which is really important to me. They're Leaping Bunny certified, they're EWG certified, and a little really goes a long way. Like you only need 3/4 of a scoop for each load of laundry. Plus more if you're pre-treating stains. I've been using this for the last month, and I've been using it heavily. Like I go through 1 to 2 loads of laundry every day, plus extra for stain treatment beforehand, and I'm only halfway through this bag, which really goes to show you how long this lasts. If you want to try it for yourself, you can use my code Lucky'sLife to get 15% off. The link is down below. Make sure to go and check them out. I can't recommend Branch Basics enough, and they just really hit it out of the park with this new product. Thank you again, Branch Basics, for sponsoring today's video. Now I'm gonna go get my kids to put this away. Today is Tuesday, and usually on Tuesdays it is vacuum day, which means that the entire house gets vacuumed. But before we can get to vacuuming, first we need to tidy the house. And tidying has been happening for the last little bit. I still need to go around to pick up a few more things. But the kids have been helping me in this. Every single day at around 4 p.m. they start cleanup time. This is something that we've been doing for a long time. This is not new, but what is new is the fact that we've started rotating spaces. We were finding that a lot of the time when we asked the kids to do their cleanup time, one child was doing most of the work while the others were just kind of playing. So we have decided to split up areas. They're each responsible for their own area, and then we rotate through every week. So this week in particular, my daughter is in charge of this room. Look how clean this is. She did a phenomenal job. It was quite a mess before, and everything is very tidy and very organized. She even took it upon herself to vacuum this room. So she did a wonderful job. Right now, one of my boys is in charge of their room, and the other one is in charge of the living room. They play in each of these spaces. Hi. They get very messy every day. And the fact that we're rotating each week makes it feel very fair, very even. They don't get used to just one space. They get familiar with cleaning every room in the house. We've been doing this for a few weeks now, and it seems to be working really, really well. They are just finishing up their cleanup time. Now it is time for me to go around and do the vacuuming. vacuum the cracks and crevices of my chairs and my sofas every single week because it's not necessary. What I do when I'm vacuuming the house is I'll take note of any areas that might need a little bit of extra attention, and then I do a little bit extra in those areas. Doing this little bit of extra each week helps me maintain a clean home without spending too much time doing unnecessary work. It's just like an extra 5 or 10 minutes while I'm already doing it, and then that way I can stay on top of things and then it doesn't pile up over time. A little bit every day. Today is Wednesday, and normally on Wednesdays I am cleaning glass or mopping floors, but today the bathrooms are really dirty, so I've decided that since I have a little bit of extra time today, I'm gonna tackle the bathrooms. The bathrooms is a bigger chore, it takes more time, and if I have more time today, now seems like a good time to do it. So our schedule isn't consistent in the fact that like every single Thursday we do bathrooms, and that's the only day that we do bathrooms. We're not very particular in that sense. It's more so the fact that every single day we're setting aside like half an hour to an hour to do some cleaning. And then the chore that we do on that day really kind of depends on what our situation looks like, what our day looks like, what our week looks like. But I've got about half an hour right now, so I'm gonna try and just tackle this really quick. Just like my floors, my bathrooms don't get deep cleaned every week. There are certain surfaces that do get cleaned every week without question, such as toilets, sinks, countertops, bathtubs, just because those do get really dirty every week. But for example, things like filling up the soap and the bathroom cleaner, those are things I don't do every week because it's not necessary. This week I noticed that the floors were really dirty in the main bathroom, so I gave those a good wipe down, as well as the baseboards. That doesn't happen every single week. Things like that happen whenever is needed. So again, we're able to maintain a clean space without doing a bunch of extra unnecessary work. Bathrooms are done now, so I'm gonna call it for today. While I tackle these dishes, let's chat about kids' chores for a minute. So earlier in the video, I talked about how we've divided up cleanup time into different rooms. That is an expectation we have for them every single day. In addition to that, we also have after meal chores that they're also expected to do. So we've set it up in a similar system so that all the kids have a different responsibility each week that we rotate through. Those 3 responsibilities are clearing the table, wiping down the table, and then filling up the dishwasher. And then depending on the age of the child, the expectations for each of these chores look a little bit different. For example, my 3-year-old, I don't expect him to be putting away heavy things when he's clearing the table. I don't expect him to be rinsing out all the dishes thoroughly and then putting them in the dishwasher. So I'll come alongside him and guide him through that and teach him how to do those things. Whereas my oldest, my daughter who is 7, I can fully expect her to wipe down the table and the chairs and the high chairs very well. I can expect her to rinse all the dishes and put them away really well. I can even expect her to help me clear out the dishwasher and hand wash some dishes too. So as their ages increase, their responsibilities increase as well within their chore category. Then eventually when my youngest is able to start doing chores as well, we'll add another category to the list. It'll probably look something like clearing the floors or taking out garbages, and then that'll be another chore that they'll all rotate through. For the longest time, I just kind of did the after meal cleanup without thinking about it. Like, I didn't really ask them to help me with anything, though I knew they were very capable of doing so. It felt almost easier to just go ahead and do it myself, but I know that's not the right mentality. Like, how are my kids ever going to learn how to do these chores and to help out around the house if I'm not taking the time to teach them how to do it? At first, when we start implementing chores like this, it's almost more work because you're teaching them how to do it, and then you're giving them grace to make mistakes and help them clean up their mistakes and fix it. But the hard work pays off in the end, because now my 7-year-old, she's going above and beyond. She is, like, for example, earlier this week she cleaned the playroom and then she took the initiative to vacuum it too. And that was one less room that I had to vacuum that day because she already did it for me. And we get everyone involved in helping out around the house. It makes things run so much smoother, and it makes it a lot easier on me. It also teaches them really important life skills that they are going to take with them into adulthood. And it teaches them responsibility, which is another very important thing. It is actually 2 days later. I had full intentions of cleaning yesterday, but I just didn't get around to it. And that's the reality of it. As much as I would love to be able to stick to my cleaning schedule, life happens and life gets busy, and sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. So today we are doing 2 days worth of chores, but they're easy ones, which is nice. Yesterday's chore was glass/mirrors or mopping the entire house. I put these two together because, like I said before, it's not always necessary to do these chores. Excuse me. Wanna see Daddy? It's not always necessary to do these chores every single week because they get done as needed. We spot mop, we spot clean the windows when we see that they need cleaning. So I've grouped these into the same day, and whatever one needs to be done the most in a particular week is what we're gonna do. So this week I will be cleaning the glass, particularly all of the windows that are lower to the ground where my children can reach. So this window right here, a couple of our windows in the dining room, playroom windows, and then mirrors and bathroom mirrors as well. We also have glass in our railing by our stairs, so I'm gonna give that a clean too. Then today's chore is dusting. This is something that does get done every week. Not every nook and cranny gets dusted every week because that's just not necessary, but whatever needs it is what we do. Dusting is a pretty quick and easy chore, so if I do have extra time on a Friday, I will try and find something else to clean or organize. Like, maybe I'll go through my pantry and just kind of clean it out. Or maybe our nightstands just need some love, or our bathroom vanity, a small space that I can deep clean and declutter. I might tackle that on a Friday as well, but today we are busy, so I will not be doing that. Today I'm going to be focusing on doing the glass from yesterday, the dusting for today, and then we are done cleaning for the week. That means I have Saturday and Sunday free of cleaning, and we will start this back up again on Monday, which is really nice because our weekends are free, and all week I kind of feel like we've had a clean house to a certain extent. So let's do that. We have to do spelling practice on these windows during homeschool with dry erase marker, so these ones get particularly dirty. Some people have aesthetic dusters, but me, I got a Swiffer. Works just as good. I would love to get some family photos to go up here. I just keep forgetting to do that. So note to self, go find some photos, find some frames, print some pictures so that we can finally get some family pictures on this wall. The end result, I didn't even do a lot of dusting. I mostly just dust in this area, like in the living room, the kitchen, playroom, the main areas of the home, because bathrooms kind of get dusted when they get cleaned. And then there's just not a lot of surfaces in our bedrooms that need to be dusted, so it's just the main area here. We have light that comes through this window and we have light that comes through that window, and it really puts all of the dust on display. So dusting is something I really need to keep up with in this home because it can look really bad really fast. But that's it. That is the end of today's video. That is what our cleaning routine looks like most weeks. This has been really good for our family, and I feel like it's a routine that we can actually keep up with and we can continue to modify as our needs change, as our children get older. And it's been really good. So I hope this was useful information for you, that you can take some inspiration from it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.